I'm going over castle designs and the witch trials of the olden days. Just give us a okay. And typically they had drawbridges, but you can't really build that in Minecraft, so I just built that wooden door. Don't mind that. I had a bit of an issue with part of the witch trial thing. Anyway, most castles had a couple towers and some things and some walls with archers, but you didn't have time to build that. And I was going for small scale. They also had moats, which typically had animals that would. Sometimes they had animals in them, and those animals were barely fed, so they'd be hungry and ready for battle. But yeah, also castles were typically home to kings, royalty, or just all over rich people. They also had a lot of knights and stuff guarding them. I used to have knights in front of it, but it just lagged out the game. I'm just gonna hop off the horse real fast. But I did keep some of the knights, which were archers. Anyway. Okay, now the next topic here. Okay. I know when most of you think of witch trials, you think of burning at the stake. What? Hello? Anyways, I was saying when most of you think of witch trials, you think. Gonna work? Now, I know when most of you think of witch trials, you think of standard. I know when most of you think of the witch trials, you think of burning at the stake, like so. But, a lot of the time it was more than that. Now, I know when most of you think of the witch trials, you think of burning at the stake. But typically it was whole lot more than burning witches at the stake. Well, actually, it was a lot less than that, more or less. Typically, how they'd actually do it is the gallows, the guillotine, or one of the many options. Guillotine, they chop off your head, but typically they did it at the gallows, which, if you don't know what that is, you're quite innocent. Which I'm using the armadillo for this example because it's a new mob, and really, you can't really hang villagers or witches or anything with any human like resemblance with leads. So I gotta do what I deal with what I got. But anyway, typically they'd be hung at the gallows where you just pull a lever and they'd be hanging. Which, if you're lucky, it would snap your neck as soon as it fell and snap you back. But in some unlucky cases, people's necks were too strong and they slowly suffocated to death because they were being choked. But in some cases, the rope completely broke or they slipped through and they were allowed to live because it was considered divine intervention. Which I just considered it either faulty rope luck or maybe even actual divine intervention. Which, give me a second here. Which, I didn't really want to keep the armadillos around, so, just gonna take care of them. Don't worry, they're just suffocating in a wall. But, yeah. that was the witch trial stuff. And if you're wondering what those effects are, they splash themselves with fire resistance. Because they're annoying pricks, these witches. But yeah, that's the witch trials, and also, just so you know, they didn't give a crap whether you were a child, an adult, a man, a woman, black, white. If you were accused of a witch, it was basically a death sentence. That, or if you managed to survive the death sentence, it would typically be either another death sentence or considered divine intervention, in which case you'd be saved. But yeah, that was the witch trials. I will now show you the coat of arms on the board. After this next video, which is me showing off some medieval armor types.